You're listening to The Tony and Josh Show.
Looking for silence forever the same. Door to my house looks like open this day. Maybe I want to hear when he's calling my name. Maybe I want to listen to the sound of the rain. Forever to
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tony from the Tony and Josh Show. Tonight will be episode 39. And if you're watching us on YouTube live, welcome. If you've been here before, you know the drill. We get started, the pre-show starts about 15 minutes before showtime. And then we try to get started around 10 p.m. Central. We don't always do it. It may run a little bit, a little over 10 before we get started, sometimes as long as 10:15. So Josh will be joining us here in a minute, and until then, you can enjoy some of the songs that we play over and over again.
forever to last.
You can friend, follow, or circle the Tony and Josh Show on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Just visit TonyandJosh.com and click on the appropriate social media icon.
Well, Josh has joined us, and you know what? I bet you I need to adjust the Skype levels before you start talking, Josh. Let me do that real quick. That way the music won't chop your voice. Okay, you should be able to talk now.
Yeah, that sounds much better. Might be able to hear me now.
So, yes, I can, but you're a little light.
A little light? Okay. I think I might have brought myself down doing some recording earlier a little bit. How's that sound right now?
Well, you know, on the meter, it looks like it's the same as mine. So,
okay, well, that's good. Hopefully, if I get a little excited, it doesn't go too loud.
No, we got equipment to take care of that. I think I just got the music too loud is all.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah,
also, too, I got my headphones down a little bit, so that's what it was.
Ah, gotcha.
So we're sporting the new logo tonight. If you guys hadn't already caught on to it, we're broadcasting live and having a new chat thingy, a little place where you can type in stuff to us and other people that are watching the show right over on TonyandJosh.com. So if you go over there, TonyandJosh.com, you'll see at the very top post is the live show. You'll have to hit play on the video there. And once you do, you should see the show and hear it and be able to chat there. And little chat window that's right below the live video. So we got 2 voicemails tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they are. One was from a week ago, and I don't think this is the one we played last week. Well, let me play it here real quick and see. You guys won't be able to hear it. At least I don't think so.
Hey guys.
I hear something in there.
No, that was the one that we used last week. So it looks like we've got one. Let me see what it is. Yeah, and the second one, or actually the one that we have this week will be from Nikki G. So
Cool.
let me process that one and get it ready.
All right. Man, I really do like those characters. Those drawings turned out really good.
Yeah, I read, went back over to where I had ordered these things, and the guy that drew these has 30 years experience, artistic experience.
Very nice.
And I really didn't expect to get them because had a 7-day thing on it, and heard absolutely nothing from the guy up until the 7th day, and I think it might have been down to the last few minutes left on the deal, and boom, there they were. So I did not hold out much hope to receive these. You can order these things and this and other things, and if you don't get any communications from the seller, it's usually a pretty good sign that you're going to be canceling the order. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Fox News opinion.
A little bit. I'm not a fan, I would call it, but I know of it and stuff. So, but there's definitely been some stuff going on. I've heard that several times this week so far in various news reports.
Anyway, the 5 tweeted out today on President Obama's announcement speech, whatever, about ISIS. What would you like to hear him say?
Mm-hmm.
And I tweeted, I would like to hear him say that I've purchased a horse, I've taken riding lessons, and I'm going to be yelling charge as the troops attack ISIS.
If only.
My cleverly chosen words did not indicate that he would be leading the charge, only that he would say it. He probably would be carrying a shovel, so he could be shovel ready. So let's see. Need to stick a beep in here. That's not a euphemism. So I saw a bit of a surge whenever I posted the. Let's listen to that. That was fun. So anyway, there was a bit of a surge whenever I posted up on Twitter and Facebook about our last episode, episode 38, along with this logo. So apparently the logo interested people a little bit more in the show than what they had been previously, or reminded them,
nice.
like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to download that show. So it looks like the Nikki G voicemail is about a minute 25 seconds.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it's all whale song.
Oh, where did I put that?
I just started banging in my head. So I don't think you've seen this one. I just used this one to promote the show on Twitter right before we started broadcasting. At the bottom of the image, it says "too functionally illiterate," and it's spelled wrong. I got it crossed out in red, and then then spelled correctly, "illiterate guys with a podcast." Clever, I know.
Clever indeed, sir.
Okay, so let's see. I need to output this. Oh, did you have a show opener?
You're funny. For a split second.
Good.
Second.
Good. If you hadn't have said that, I would not have known that I got you. Oh my God! I don't. Oh, gee, that's Samara. That asshole.
Microscopic fraction of a second. So, are we just going to do the three stories that I've got up here, or did you have a couple of things to throw in?
I tried to think of something today, and the only thing I could think of was what I just talked about the president's remarks on ISIS today, and I didn't see it. So all I could do is just blah 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 blah, and I wish, and there was something else I was going to look up and read about, but didn't do that. So excellent show preparation. Speaking of which, let me get this voicemail stuck on the board.
Hey, this is Nikki G.
I almost threw in another story that I had seen. Where did I see that?
Oh, I think I'll play the Tony and Josh. Now here's Josh thing, so you can you can start
All right.
start the show tonight. And
Oh yeah.
you know,
No, get the music whole thing figured out.
Yeah.
It shot me when I come in.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Do not have the live calls line open tonight, so let's.
Okay.
If you want to mention it, that's fine. Just as far as just having it in there from show to show.
Oh, maybe we'll tease it. Tell them we'll give them the number at the end of the show.
So let's see. I got the voicemail up. Oh, I was going to poke around here a minute and see if something in the news stood out to me or not. I know there's something. I know Rosie O'Donnell must have done something today. Did you see that video of the guy that was backing out of his one-car detached garage?
During that tornado or whatever it was?
Yeah, I did a tweet about that one with a link to the YouTube video, and I said, see, women, this is why you shouldn't complain, because we can't hear the oncoming tornado bearing down on us.
Right. Get in, sit down, shut up, and hold on.
And the toilet seat was left up again. Yes, dear. Oh, these food kill your brain. This fruit and other things that can help in date rape. I guess we kind of missed the story about the fingernail polish that allows you to tell if there's date rape drug in your drink or not. I forgot about that one. That was a couple of weeks ago. I remember tweeting on that one. That's great, but how do you get the rapist to wear the nail polish? And let's see. Tropical storm. Oh, I don't guess you got any rain from the tropical storm, but the Pacific tropical storm, right? You saw what it was doing to. You saw what it was doing to Arizona, right?
No, I missed it.
Oh, they had a huge dust storm, and then they had rain and rain and rain. There is a term on the forum's chat room. It's called soggy amber.
Mm.
Oh, an air marshal jabbed with syringe in Nigeria. He's back to work. You heard about that one, right? The guy that got injected with a syringe, and the FBI basically found there was nothing bad in the syringe.
Ooh, lucky him.
Yeah. Let's see. Nothing really stands out. I don't.
Now I'm going to pull one from the dumb criminals file.
There you go.
Just give me. I'm going to need just like 2 minutes.
Sure. Oh my God. Here's a headline that I can really believe. It says, "Hey, Sandra Bullock lied. Her fans are shocked. Her huge secret is finally exposed." I hope she's not a man. I would feel really bad about myself. Love Sandra Bullock. God, that girl is so funny. Self-deprecating all over the place. Oh, wow. Hackers post millions of stolen Gmail passwords on Russian something. Website, I'm thinking? Yep, Russian site. I'll be darned. Google has news. Obama promises sustained effort to rout militants. Router Rooter. Ooh. Charlie Sheen gives 1K to waiter who got 20 cents from LaShawn McCoy, who I don't know who that is. Must be a sports figure. Oh, yeah, there's that big thing about the NFL or Ray Rice NFL thing where he got the lifetime suspension. Don't usually follow sports, but when there's women beaten involved, I'd have a tendency to watch. I don't know if you saw that video, the elevator security video where he slaps her. Boy, she comes back at him, and
Yeah.
then he decks her. Good Lord, slapping's bad enough. Ooh, Toronto mayor in hospital with abdominal tumor.
Does not sound pleasant.
So it turns out he wasn't on crack cocaine. It's just a reaction to that tumor.
Huh, who'd have thunk?
Oh, I'm just lying. Oh, so I read today, Jay Carney, the liar in chief for the White House, ex-liar in chief for the White House, but still lying, I'm sure, is joined the team at CNN. So he's going to be working for CNN. I don't know if you remember Jay Carney, the little wimpy guy with the glasses that was always spouting off all the truths as the press secretary for the president. Oh, of course, the iPhone 6 is out, which I could care less. And I'm really surprised that there's all this interest over the watch, the iWatch, or
because they're late to the game and they're the last ones, but it's Apple, so they got to get at least an honorable mention. And yeah,
I don't know why anybody. I mean, you got a cell phone. Why do you want to watch? Look at the cell phone, see what time it is. Oh, but it's convenient because you can see, and I got to have a $600 phone and a $400 watch. And I don't know how much it cost. I'm just saying. I know the Samsung one, which I thought was cool. It was worth looking at and seeing what it do. But it needs to be Dick Tracy style video type thing. And why do you have to have a phone? Just put it all in the watch. So NASA tweeted out today that they were closing the door to the Soyuz capsule for the return of the 3 astronauts. I think it was 3 to Earth.
Yeah. No, it was 2, I think.
Well, whatever. And I said, that's one door you don't want to forget to close.
Right?
Hey, close the door. You're letting out all the astronauts. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, there's nothing funny about explosive decompression. Explosive diarrhea, yes.
Okay, I am all set. We've got enough story and fluff in there. I think we can make this a show.
Oh, we could make it a show without anything on that sheet. You know that.
Yeah.
If you threaten America, you will find no safe haven, unless it's Iraq, Syria, or especially Iran. Perhaps China. Or the Ukraine. The Ukraine, you definitely would find sanctuary. Thanks, Webby. I don't see anything going on in the world that I haven't already talked about.
Nah, don't worry about it. I think we got enough.
Actually, I think we could talk a little bit about the NFL lifetime ban on that guy I just said. What's his name? Bryce. Let me pull that back up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something extremely boring. No, let's see. Oh, yeah, you got something in there about 9/11. I was just going to say, do we want to say something about that? you've got it covered. Ray Rice. Ray Rice video was sent to NFL. That makes sense to me. All right. So we'll start with you, and let me get you on the center stage camera, so to speak. And we're going to be doing this one and that one. Yes, yes. All right. So here we go. If you're watching on YouTube Live, feel free to jump over to tonyandjosh.com, and you will see a new little chat thing below the live video. You'll need to press play on the video to see it live, but there's a little chat below the video that you can jump in there, set up a little username. I think all you have to do is just try typing something in, and it'll prompt you for a name, and then you can chat to us and anybody else that's in the chat room. Yep, and I'm currently there, so I don't know if you're on there or not, Josh.
I will be. I was up on the YouTube side of things.
Warning. The opinions, ideas, views, emotions, and temper tantrums expressed or otherwise conveyed on the Tony and Josh Show may not and most likely is not suitable for all audiences and therefore should not be heard by anyone unless supervised by an appropriate nanny state. Enjoy!
You're listening to the Tony and Josh Show. Now, here's Josh.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Tony and Josh Show.
Yeah, we'll have to restart that one. For some reason, the audio is not coming through.
Right, open YouTube.
Huh. Skype's the same way as it was. Say a little something?
I'm saying a little something, a little more.
I guess maybe the audio is just a little loud. I mean, the music's just a little loud. So,
It just doesn't like me starting.
say something?
It just doesn't like me starting. I don't know what's going on there. It just, Skype and music and me, we apparently don't get along.
Well, that's I think this music's a little loud for some reason. Louder than
Just that track.
let me adjust that while we're since we're get it all hanging out there and not doing it right anyway. There we go. Okay. Reset the audio recorder.
Warning. The opinions, ideas, views, emotions, and temper tantrums expressed or otherwise conveyed on the Tony and Josh Show may not and most likely is not suitable for all audiences and therefore should not be heard by anyone unless supervised by an appropriate nanny state. Enjoy!
You're listening to the Tony and Josh Show. Now, here's Josh.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Tony and Josh Show. We've got a whole bunch of new stuff for you guys this evening. We've got not only a new logo for your viewing pleasure, you guys can also interact with us during the live show in a whole new manner. You can just pop over to tonyandjosh.com and you can not only watch the show live right there, but you can also pop into that little chat room right there and interact with us live during the show. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 39 of the Tony and Josh Show.
I think so. I don't have anything up, Josh, so you'll have to wait on me.
Well, you guys like silly humor, bad puns, tech, science, and, well, maybe even the occasional story that crosses your moral boundaries, then you guys have got to stick around for the rest of the show.
Oh, there's a good reason. More than one good reason for that. Hey, I'm Tony. You know me as Tony on the Tony and Josh Show. Isn't that weird how that works out? Yeah, we're loving the logo, Josh. Great job on the logo. Whoever it was in the huge Tony and Josh Show organization. We don't know who you are, but we sure appreciate your hard work.
No, absolutely. Yeah, definitely good work over there. If you guys haven't seen it, well, just pop over to TonyandJosh.com and you can see it for yourself.
Well,
tonight on the Tony and Josh Show, we've got all sorts of stuff to cover. Tony, what's on the list for tonight?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. What has pooped ruined now? Oh, no. And it's not on my shoes, thank God.
Yeah, we pull another story from the Dumb Criminal Files.
And we may have found Nikki G's long-lost twin sister.
It's true. It's true. You guys got to stick around for that story. Definitely want to find out what's up with that. And we're, of course, going to have to talk a little bit about September 11th, 2001, sort of, what we were doing, where we were, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I have an interesting story about that. My wife has this tendency to be very nervous about things, and I'll share with you how I quelled her concern over that situation way back in 2001. And how wrong I was.
Oh, boy. Can't believe that was 13 years ago. Well, guys, before we get into that, we've got a voicemail to share with you guys, and we'll play that right now.
Hey, this is Nikki G. And I know I'm slack on the voicemails, but it's, I love to say it's not you, it's me, but it's not me. It's this darn speak pipe. As everybody knows, that I believe that the machines are going to rise up, take over the world, and enslave humans. And I really believe that my cell phone is going to be the ringleader of all this. I do not have a good relationship with my phone. So, with that being said, I see that they're bringing back, they just brought back a third Ebola victim. I guess you call him victim, patient, to the United States, which I'm telling you, that's how the zombie apocalypse is going to start. I've seen enough movies. But the thing that really gets me is this guy was not treating Ebola patients. He was an OBGYN, which if you get a Ebola doing that, I think you're doing something wrong. Maybe in too deep. Who knows? All right, guys. I'll chat at you later. Remember, you asked for this, not me. All right, have a good one. Bye.
You know, there was some background noise in there. I could swear that it sounded like he was petting a cat. It was starting to purr on him.
Look what you made me do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't recall, last show I called Nikki G out and said, "Where's the Nikki G voicemail?" so that was his reference to you made me do it. Blame yourself.
Yep. Oh, boy, he does deliver, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the Ebola stuff. Why do they have to keep bringing them over here?
No, I think I still think they're trying to weaponize it. But
I do too. I think they're trying to start an epidemic over here. Is what they're trying to do, and go, oh, gee, if we'd thought about it, we wouldn't have brought them here. It just, it makes sense now. Hindsight's 20/20. Yeah, jeez.
Well, if you guys want to be like Nikki G, we'll give you the number to our, we don't have a voicemail, but you can call into the live show if you'd like. If chat is not your thing, or emails don't quite do it for you, well, we can go ahead and get you live on the air with us, and we'll give that number out later on in the show. You guys can also tweet us during the live show at Tony and Josh Show to interact with us during the live broadcast. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you can also chat with us live while you watch the show live over at TonyandJosh.com.
Let me mention it's live. So unless you're watching the recording of this, then it's live recorded. I think that's an accurate description.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience. Not quite.
I have an idea about that, Josh, where I stick my hand towards the video inset, and then we get somebody in your studio to time it perfectly, where they reach over and pat you with a sponge. You know, when you start getting hot in there.
Right. That'd be funny.
And if it could be a female's hand, it would be really funny because it would be start out male and then come back
and then black or something.
Anywho, so
well,
we call that a show lull.
Well, Tony, we're just a couple of days away. Well, by the calendar date anyway, 1 day away. If you guys are listening to this as the podcast, well, this is last week, the anniversary of September 11th, 2001. And I remember what I was doing, where I was at, and everything rather explicitly. I'd never, quite seen anything like that before. I had just gotten into work. I was working for a company called Car Toys. I was a mobile electronics installer. And in the sales floor, there were several, of the in-car TV screens that people normally put in headrests that are now found in virtually every infotainment system in most new cars. But and all across all these, we had they had the news feeds going. Of course, it was pretty much on every station everywhere of what was going on. And I pulled into work, I think, right at the time that the second plane hit the tower. And just sat there with my morning coffee, just completely dumbfounded as to what was going on. I was like, no, this is a movie, right? It didn't really dawn on me, and until I started seeing this on multiple channels and stuff, that this was really happening. It was just quite a freaky experience, nonetheless. I mean, obviously, if you were in New York at the time, I can't imagine it being any more real than that. But it was certainly an eye opener for me that morning, September 11th, 2001.
I was sitting in traffic. I was on my way to work, and strangely enough, I don't think it was called this at the time, but strangely enough, I was going through a park that we have here in Southeast Texas. It's now named the George Bush Park, and all of us sitting in line waiting to go down this 2-lane road. Very nice ride because it's park on both sides. Nice open green areas. I get a call on the cell phone from my wife saying that an airplane has struck one of the Twin Towers in New York. And I immediately thought of the, was it not B-52, B-17, I think, bomber that ran into the Empire State Building while flying through a lot of fog. And that airplane actually impacted the Empire State Building and kind of, I guess you could say, landed there. I mean, it wasn't like there was a big fire or anything. If you look back in some of the pictures, you just see this big ass airplane sticking out of the Empire State Building. And as a past private pilot student, I thought, well, it's probably some nut or somebody that was, and it seems like there was a situation where this guy had flown a small plane into a building where the IRS was at, an attempt to do some damage to the to the IRS people there. It makes sense when you think about it. And I thought maybe this was just one of those single engine planes that somebody had flown into one of the Twin Towers. And I just, I told her, no, it's no big deal that it doesn't happen that often, especially these days with modern electronics, but it can. It may be some nut, it's sad because somebody died, but even if it was just the pilot, but no big deal. And she goes, no, it was a passenger jet. And I'm thinking to myself, no, surely not, because there's a very slim chance that a passenger jet would accidentally fly into one of the Twin Towers. And as she watched the news, and I'm pretty sure she was watching Fox at the time, she was telling me some stuff over the cell phone, and I'm putting it together, and I went, well, this must be a terrorist attack, because there's no really any way that I can think of a passenger jet flying into one of these buildings. So, as it turned out, I was completely wrong, and it wasn't an accident. It was purposely done. And I think, I can't remember, it seems like I was watching it later. I don't know if I was watching it over the internet from work or where I was watching it, but I remember thinking to myself, because they were talking about the buildings collapsing. And I think I even told my wife, "There's no way. It's a huge building."
Right. Skyscrapers don't collapse.
No, there's no way. And I was dumbfounded because of my many years of experience as an engineer and architect. I was dumbfounded when I saw what looked like on the many YouTube videos and on television videos that I'd seen at that time, by that time, of a perfect building implosion, as somebody would do if they were going to demolish it.
Mm-hmm.
That did not make sense to me, and frankly still doesn't. I would have expected it not to fall apart, not to I mean, yeah, I understand there's a lot of damage and fire and stuff on the inside, but I would not have expected it to implode like that. And I would have expected, part of it maybe to tilt, and the top part of the part above where the airplane went in, to probably tilt a little bit and maybe even fall over, and the very top part of it slide off, or part of it slide off, or
Yeah.
but I would not expect a controlled demolition of a huge building like that, and I certainly would have expected two to do the same thing. Now,
Right.
I guess logically, if both buildings are built the same way, it makes sense that they're going to be, they should act similarly. So I guess that does make logical sense. But I'm still shocked about the implosion. And you got to wonder if these guys that get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to demolish a building, to implode a building, are now going. They're looking. These people, the people are going, "Hey, it's no big deal. You just fly a plane into it." So,
Right. Yeah, we got a new way to go about this.
Why does it take you 3 weeks to plant all the dynamite, and whenever it gets to be done like this? I know I'm not suggesting you fly a plane into a building to demolish it, but still, I mean, you hear about this stuff where they talk about all this shape charges and specific I-beams to cut and everything so they can get this perfect implosion. And some guys that trained on a Microsoft Flight Simulator to fly a jet flew in these buildings there and accomplished the same thing. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I know you're a conspiracy theorist, Josh. What's your conspiracy theory? What's your nose telling you on this thing?
Well, there are lots of conspiracy theories about this, and I mean, I've got a very vivid imagination. So I mean, I can delve deep into the depths of that and just go run wild with it. And honestly, everything seems plausible to me, and I haven't seen any real conclusive evidence one way or another. I've seen some stuff coming out like, oh well, yeah, the beams were coated with this material, and well, there would have had to have been charges. Look here in this one picture, you can kind of see an explosion off to one side of the building that there was no activity on. This, that, and the other thing. There's all these other little snippets of, well, this could be that, and we're going to call it this to help prove our point type of thing for all these different stories and theories and stuff like that. I don't really have my own. It's like, okay, sure, maybe there was an alien outbreak or something like that, and the only way to contain it was to divert two planes by remote control into the buildings, and really it was the only way to save the entire planet and the human race as a whole.
So you're suggesting that they missed the UN?
Well, yeah, it could be. No, it's yeah. There was a lawyer convention somewhere there. No, I have no idea. But I mean, nonetheless, it's a horrible tragedy. There were lots of people that really stepped up and became heroes. I mean, pretty much the entire New York Fire Department, Police Department, I think are near the top of that list. That stepped up and helped those who did survive, and of course everybody who has helped those who were left behind.
I don't know about you, Josh, but unless I had a loved one in one of those buildings, there is no way in hell I would be going into that building. I'd be going, this is a no-win situation. I'm not going to make it out of here alive. In fact, I need to get really, really far away from where I'm currently standing, just outside the building. Can you imagine looking up at that huge structure on fire and bits of it falling down around you?
It's the kind of stuff that movies are made out of.
Yeah.
I mean, you only see that stuff in special effects and movies and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I can imagine it because I have the ability to imagine such things. But But no, I mean, I've never
But I
seen
mean,
anything like
the
that
awe that you would be going through, looking up at this building and craning your neck so far back to see the fire and the smoke way up there, and this debris and papers and all kinds of dust and stuff that were surely coming down even before the buildings did, and then thinking, I got to run in there. I got to go help people. I got to save lives. And, to their credit, there was like 40, 50,000 people in those two buildings, and we lost around 3,000 something. So an amazing job at saving lives. And I mean, all those folks are heroes. And if you go to heaven for any reason and get any virgins at all, those are the folks that are going to be doing it, not the ones that are lied to so that they can do these incredibly stupid things. That also dumbfounds me, how people can talk themselves into these amazing notions that doing something so vile to a person is going to get you a special place in heaven. It'll be a special place. I don't think it'll be in heaven. It'll be in turkey bacon hell.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Nonetheless, there were many people who stepped up, and those are the heroes that we should recognize on this anniversary. Well, Tony, speaking of heroes, Shauna Hammond of Enid, Oklahoma, is my new hero. Am I exaggerating for comedic impact? No, absolutely not. I mean, how dare you even suggest such a thing? Like I would do that. Is this just the part of the show, and I want to send you guys off with on your way with a smile on your face? Well, perhaps, but make no mistake, people. This woman who donned a colander in the name of Pastafarianism for her driver's license photo is indeed a hero.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
maybe not in the rushing into a burning orphanage to save 4 babies and a puppy kind of hero, but dang it, Shauna Hammond deserves the title. Hammond says she did not do it to make a statement. Under Oklahoma laws, your driver's license picture cannot have shadows and your face cannot be obscured. The colander met the requirements. Hammond is a devout atheist, but she told the Department of Motor Vehicles that she is a Pastafarian. She says she believes no one should be forced into religious beliefs. For me, the colander represents freedom, our freedom of religion, and to do whatever religion we prefer, or even lack of religion, she said. As for being a Pastafarian, it is a real thing. It came into being about 10 years ago when a man wrote a letter to a school board talking about a flying spaghetti monster, equating that to creationism being taught in schools. The flying spaghetti monster is on this day appeased. All hail his noodliness, ramen. Too far? Nah. It's all freedom of speech, right? Or at least it's just a colander and not something like a Teletubby. Ugh, God, those things just weird me out.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, that's interesting. I saw I think I saw it come up on Twitter. I didn't investigate any further. I figured it was crazy people doing crazy things, and yes, I can see the Nikki G connection. It's a piece of metal on top of the head, protecting from the brain waves.
Yeah,
protecting the brain waves from the nasty RF brain wave scramblers.
Well, speaking of investigations, it didn't really take too much sleuthing to book this perp. This one is out of our dumb criminals file, and this dumb criminal dials 911 on his way to the drug dealer's house. In Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, a 25-year-old ratted on himself to police after he accidentally butt-dialed emergency services and discussed with a friend in detail about visiting his drug dealer. An ABC News affiliate reported that on Friday night, Grant O'Connor and a female friend were eating at Don Pepe's Mexican restaurant, where they talked about getting high and scoring some of that wacky tobacco. Little did they know that O'Connor's phone, which was in his pocket, had dialed 911 and had dispatchers listening to their evening itinerary the entire time. After the meal, police stopped the 2 patrons in the restaurant parking lot, where they found a small bag of weed and a pipe in the car. Well, this wasn't exactly a Minority Report situation. Cops pulled over O'Connor after he had left the restaurant, and upon discovering he had a broken taillight. So that should make you guys feel a little better, at least. The woman in the car, despite the conversation in the restaurant, played dumb, and she said she was not aware of the drugs in the car. So O'Connor was the only one arrested and charged with drug possession. The unlucky stoner was booked in jail that night and released later on bond.
and the very clever butt that did the dialing had more things to do in jail. So,
and is now a paid informant for the FBI.
No wiring necessary. He can dial whoever needs to dial whenever the bust is going down, so to speak. So, hey, this plays right into the next story, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of butts, there's further proof, as if you needed any more, that poop ruins everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Holiday Village Red Sea Resort in Egypt, it's ruining everybody's vacation, apparently, because British tourists are finding fun and merriment by relieving their bowels in the still blue waters of the resort pools. Is it a trend? Well, the hotel is threatening heavy fines, so maybe. Here's why. According to Death and Taxes, which is an indie music, pop culture, politics, and basically anything that you might care about type of site and magazine, the pool poop craze just isn't limited to this one resort. Apparently, other pools all over the globe have had to be closed because these tourists with a horrible sense of humor, and I'm assuming these are teens. God, I'm really hoping they're just teens and not some serial heavyweight pasty creeper guy wearing nothing but Speedos and a fanny pack and has a sick taste for Baby Ruths and the not so funny. Hopefully it is just teens, and they've decided to take poop jokes to a whole new level. Not content to just throw a candy bar into the pool and a big F you to whoever is wasting chocolate that way anyways.
Yeah, really.
They're actually emptying their bowels amidst, I imagine, howls of laughter and cries of, "I pooped all over you! Swim in my excrement, turd blossom!" This is happening at such a high frequency now that a pool at a holiday village in Turkey had to be closed 9 times.
9 times.
9 times. Due to free-floating wonder logs. Don't these people have the internet? Don't they realize they're ruining their own vacations too? 9 freaking times. What are you, bears? Because you're doing it wrong. Bears crap in the woods.
Yes.
Not in the pool. Look, I worked at a pool when I was 16 for a summer. It was awesome. But somebody pulled something like this once, and thankfully it only turned out to be a candy bar, and we didn't have to go through the whole massive decontamination procedures and stuff. But still, 9 times? Are you kidding me? I mean, do I need to write a strongly worded letter to my congressman or something? The Holiday Village resorts are so upset over this that they've actually had to release a letter to address the issue of unauthorized materials in their aquatic facilities, as if that could be put any more politically correct. It goes a little something like this. Anyone now caught performing rectal functions, I imagine of any variety at this point, in the pool will be fined over $2,000 and immediately ousted from the resort without any sort of refund. Aside from this being pretty revolting, logging, as it's called now, is also dangerous for the health and safety of others. This worrying craze has taken off in the last few years. In the courts of travel law, there have been hundreds of cases where the people have been left seriously ill, others just with a chocolatey candy bar cleanup on their hands. However, there are those idiots who thinks this is humorous. Deliberately poo in a crowded pool and then sit back and watch the carnage unfold as people try to escape said cauldron of pool, like a panic scene from the movie Jaws. So what's the bottom line here? I see what I did there. Do we just wipe the slate clean, forget about all these other events and say lesson learned, and just hope and pray that little Tommy doesn't decide to get the hunker in to break one off at the Splash and Squirt community pool this weekend, huh? I say screw the millions spent on that whole click it or ticket ad campaign, and we need to do signage. Radio spots. I mean, this could be an epidemic. Maybe this is how the zombie apocalypse starts. We're going to need national commercials with bad, washed-up actors who we barely recognize or can't believe are still alive saying kitschy PSA slogans like, don't be the one to put the poo in pool. Or be number 1, don't go number 2. In any case, if you have a poop in the pool story you'd like to share, send your emails to josh@tonyandjosh.com. And maybe, just maybe,
hi, I'm Troy McClure, and you might know me from movies like Real Men Logging.
Oh no, extreme loggers.
Excrement to the extreme. Yeah. So, gee whiz. I just can't help but remember the scene from Caddyshack, where Carl goes in there and breaks one off in his mouth. It's okay.
And he takes a bite of it. Oh, that's just horrible. But funny. Good stuff. Great movie.
Speaking of that, we have a new set of little lovebird babies in the cage with our two lovebirds that my daughter told us on several occasions were both male, because that's what she was told when she purchased them, but apparently not. So anyway, my wife was talking about how the mom bird had eaten some food and then jumped in there, and she saw her feeding the baby birds and was doing which surprised me, because my wife is very, very much a non-throw up type person. It just, you can't even pretend like you're doing it because it bothers her. But she kind of did the thing, where the birds regurgitating the food. And she goes in, the mom bird went and then was feeding the baby, and I went, "Yep, there's nothing like a warm meal." And then I get this look of a smile and disgust from her face, because it's seeping in. Actually, I said a hot meal. Yep, there's nothing like a hot meal. It's like, oh gee, that joke left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, the baby birds, they're amazing how quickly they're getting very big very quickly. But I guess out in the wild, that's what you got to do. You need to get big so you can take care of yourself just as fast as you can. So, yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the birds. They were just driving my oldest daughter nuts with the tweeting and stuff. Anytime there was any sliver of light indicating morning, they were up and chirping. So she actually moved them down here to the entryway of the house. So we've all been able to, we've all been able to enjoy them and interact with them. So it's been a little more fun for everybody.
Oh, that's cool. I've just really quick share a personal story. I've had a little bit of excitement in my own life. I went and did something very cool over the weekend.
Oh God!
Plug there for the.
You didn't check this out through the Tony and Josh show HR department, because
yes, because there was
you would have been told no.
A good risk that I might not have come back. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast and not seeing the live show, which is shame on you, I went skydiving this last weekend, and I'm holding up to the camera right now a very dim and grainy photo of me coming down with the chute, and it was very nice. It was about a 13,000 foot jump, and I had a blast. It was absolutely riveting experience, and I highly suggest it to anybody who has the opportunity to do something like skydiving. Go out and do it, everybody. It is absolutely incredible.
And I highly recommend not doing it. I highly recommend flying a plane. And if it's on fire, if you absolutely don't think you can land it at all, then you jump. But you don't jump out of a perfectly working good airplane. And by the way, Josh, just because you hold up a bumper sticker and show a picture that looks like it's from the 70s, it is so grainy and so faded. And I mean, I can't, there may be something on a parachute. That could be one of those things that we used to get as kids, where we would have the soldier tied to the parachute and you throw it up in the air. I mean, come on, you're going to sell that.
I'll tell you,
you have a GoPro camera. Where's the footage?
I do have a GoPro camera. But it's I guess against federal regulations.
No.
Unless you have 200 jumps under your belt, you cannot bring your own filming device.
Oh, that's insane.
It's in the rule book.
Well, now, were you tandem jumping? Was that a tandem jump?
I was on a tandem jump, and so the guy
that was with you hadn't had 200 jumps. I'm sorry.
He had.
Was the large bosom lady that was right behind you?
You got to have 500 jumps to be an instructor. And but here's the thing: is though even though any other instructors could carry a camera, they want to make sure they get their money, because they charge $80 for somebody to go up with you and free fall with you and film you as you fall and of course while you're floating down, parachuting, and all that stuff. So on the ground, in the plane, in the air, and back on the ground again, pictures and video, $80 additional, and I was not about to spend that kind of money on just pictures and video. So,
well, I can't say I blame you there. I mean, it's not something you're going to remember regardless of any movies or pictures, but that was your first jump, right?
That was my first jump, and
I don't know. I think $80 would have been worth spending, Josh, on the very first jump, because now if you decide to do it later, the story goes, well, this isn't my first jump. I was this cheap bastard that wouldn't spend the money for the first jump. So I'm just saying, the first jump, it probably would have been worth spending it.
Hey, maybe right, but a little insight for you guys. I am a cheap bastard. I am a miser. I hate spending money unless
we all are.
Absolutely have to. So, now you know.
Well, unless it's for Jeep parts.
Yeah, and usually then it's something that I have to do because remember, folks, Jeeps do not break. They just give you opportunities to upgrade.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the new chat room. We're going to be trying to do that every week and see if we can't get a bevy of a crowd, if you will, of folks in there chatting and perhaps paying attention to the show about 25% of the time.
That's about how it goes.
Well, the chat room will take on its own life.
It's true. It's definitely happened before. Well, yeah, like Tony said, guys, hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure you tune in every week. We are broadcasting live both on TonyandJosh.com as well as on YouTube.com. Make sure you check out our channel and subscribe if you could, please. That'd be great. We'll see you every week at 10 p.m. Central every Wednesday, YouTube or TonyandJosh.com.
Don't forget about us on Twitter at Tony and Josh Show. We are also on Facebook, Tony and Josh Show. What else could we call ourselves besides the Tony and Josh Show? I think we are youtube.com/Tony and Josh Show. Please subscribe. That way you can get notifications as to when the shows come out. And of course, the shows are every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Central Time, because it's great for the kids going back to school. They're especially on the East Coast. It's 11 p.m. and nothing says I'm ready for school. I'm staying up between 11 p.m. and midnight to watch the Tony and Josh Show.
Well, guys, we told you we'd give you that live call-in number. Write this number down for the next time. Next week, you'd want to use these numbers and dial in and join in on the live fun. Area code 267-507-0240. And because we are so awesome, you need a separate special code just to hook up with us, and that is 219-835. So once again, area code 267-507-0240, and at the prompt, dial in the special code 219-835.
Yes. So until next week, this is Tony saying have a great week. And remember everybody that helped and died on 9/11.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okie dokie. So,
got a moth in my studio.
Going for the green screen, man. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up a little early and thank everybody for joining us tonight as we just did in the show wrap up. And you guys have a great week. Don't forget to come back next week and watch for us on TonyandJosh.com. Start using that chat room. It's going to be there every week. So if you're a little nervous about getting in there and having fun, don't be. I think you'll find that doing the chat thing along with the live show is a lot of fun. Make some great new friends. So I'll let Josh talk us out here before I terminate the broadcast.
Well, if you guys like what you're hearing and you enjoy our silly humor and bad attempts at comedy, well, I highly suggest you go ahead and share your filthy addiction with a friend. And be sure to tell us and spread the word about the Tony and Josh Show. And we'll grow this thing into a gigantic spaghetti monster unto itself. We'll see you next time.
You can subscribe to the Tony and Josh Show via iTunes, Stitcher, or listen to the podcast directly from the Tony and Josh Show website.